How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. As always, this is a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. We are reading Sasori by Shinohara Toro. This is a hard one to find information on, honestly, because it was made into movies, and the movies are way more popular than the manga, it seems. So, trying to find information about the manga is so goddamn difficult. The fact that this is a franchise that has spawned many movies based off of it and everything like that, and yet even Japanese Wikipedia does not have a page for it, is crazy. Because they have a page for basically every other manga I've ever looked up on there. This is the only manga I've ever seen that does not have an entry on Japanese Wikipedia. Just trying to find any information about it in general is so goddamn hard. So difficult. But what do I know about this? The author did like a few things here or there before this, but primarily this was the thing that made him like extremely famous and everything like that, and got adapted into movies. He's got a lot of works that have been adapted into movies, and despite being a mangaka, the fact that his manga have been adapted into movies, he is known as like one of the originators of Pinky Violence, which is crazy that it's not the director but him that gets credited for that, because I assume he's not the director of the movies. But either way, this volume cover as well is definitely one from way later, like a compiled version or something. Again, I can't find any goddamn information on it, so I don't know what release this is, but this is a release, but definitely not like how it was first compiled into volumes. And also, this came out in 1970, and typically manga wasn't really being compiled into volumes around this time. Some stuff was, but this I don't think got compiled into volumes until later in the 70s, like most stuff was. I have not seen any of the films yet. I will see them after I read a bit of this and after I, kind of get further along and everything like that. But I've not seen the movies yet. I have not seen actually any like really Japanese pink films or Pinky Violence films at all. That's something I am looking forward to get into, but I have not seen any yet. What else to say? Sasori translates to scorpion. I'm familiar with the trope of like, female prisoner named Sasori, like, or just like female delinquent named Sasori. I've seen that trope plenty, but this is of course the originator of that trope, this character in this manga and in the movies and all that. And of course she's named Scorpion because it's the whole idea of like, a woman that'll fight back, a woman that can defend herself and everything like that. So imagine we're going to get quite a lot of violent stuff here. I'm always just a sucker for a prison series in general. Any Prison Break series, I should say, not just prison in general, but like Prison Break series, I'm always a big fan of. This is a genre I really like. And really well done cover here. I know, of course, it came like probably like a decade or decades later, but still very well drawn here. I assume there'll be nudity in it and that because the volume cover wanted to show that, like, it feels like it's implying that's going to be a thing in the series. What else to say? I'm not sure. If you're new to this channel, if you are discovering the channel because of this video, I've read a bunch of manga in the 60s. We're now moving into the 70s. What manga have I read from the 70s? Basically nothing. I've read one other thing from 1970, Gorilla High. I've read Devilman. I've read Maldante. So like one or two, I guess like three Go Nagai works. And that's it. Just three Go Nagai works. The only thing I've read in the 70s. That's it. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to preface that. I don't know. Either way. Actually, this ran in Big Comic. So Big Comic started in like 1968, I believe. Yeah, started in 1968. They had a very consistent artist for every one of the covers. It was like Weekly Manga Action, where that had Monkey Punch do all of the covers. Who was the person who did the covers for this one? Isaka Yoshitaro was it. Doesn't seem like he did much of anything else. I can't find much more on him. But yeah, so he did all the covers up until his death in 1970. But we will get to that when we get to that. Because for right now, you can see we're still in the era of his covers. Even though we're in 1970, he dies towards the end of 1970. And they'll switch to a different style, a big head style, if you know what that is. If you don't know what it is, just wait, we'll get there. But yeah, he's got a very unique sort of style, as you can see. I don't know what to even call this style. No idea. No idea what you would refer to this as. But it's certainly fucking unique. And so we're starting right here, March 10th, 1970. This is the cover that the first edition ran in. So blurry, can't really get to see much. But and of course, nothing about the actual issue itself. Doesn't really seem like any of these. It's kind of one of those magazines where they're not promoting any of the manga that's actually running inside it. They're just promoting probably more like the articles and just like, you know, trying to be eye-catching and everything like that. But I guess this monkey was like, you know, this monkey and the girl and then the guy with the mustache all seem to be sort of like reoccurring characters, like mascots of the magazine. Interesting. But okay, yeah, that's all to say, like, you know, we can look at a few covers here if we want to, because they're not going to be spoiler, because they have nothing to do with the manga at all. But give us a good idea, like, what the kind of thing it was running in was. Very, like, oh, I love it. It's already so 70s. Like, I definitely, you know, I'm not super familiar with a lot of this art style stuff, but, like, from, like, speculative future stuff, I've definitely seen art styles like this, especially that background stuff. Definitely gives me those vibes. But yeah, here's just some examples of what this was running in. Now that one's very crisp, actually. Great quality on that one. But yeah, interesting style. But it gives us an idea of the culture that it was running in. Okay, that's enough of this. What? I recognize this image is like an 1800s nude or something, I feel like. But anyway, who else was running alongside? We had Ishinomori running here as well. Tezuka was actually running in here. Tako Saito was running in here. He was, if you don't know, Tako Saito, hold on, I'm trying to remember myself. Tako Saito was the... Oh, I can't remember. He did a bunch of 60s stuff, but the name sounds familiar. Oh, also Kazuo Umezu was running in here as well. Lots of big names. Isaka Yoshitaro, I don't know him. Who is this guy again? Okay, he's the Golgo 13 guy. That's why I never fucking remember who he is. But yeah, so he's Golgo 13 guy. Oh right, okay, so Isaka Yoshitaro, was that just because he did just because he did the cover, actually, yeah. Didn't do a actual series. But okay, so recognize every single one of these guys. God damn, that's pretty crazy. I recognize every single one of the people running in this magazine. That's big names too, big comic for sure. But okay, I think that's all we need to say. Now we can actually read the manga itself. And of course, this re-release is like promoting. This is the back of the book, actually, yeah, front and back. I'm surprised they scanned it for the very first page of it, the back of the book. But I assume because it's got the barcodes and everything. But yeah, promoting the movie. Oh, a 2008 movie. Damn, they were still going. The first one was in 1972. Is it still the main actress out of all of them, or I'm not sure. The only thing I know is that he, the mangaka, was involved with the movies in some way for the first three, but just the first three. I don't know. There was one made in 1972. I don't know when the rest were made. And so, was this a volume cover? Or like the original one? Or, I don't know. But cool that like it's in the style of a scorpion too. The kanji is all like drawn, stylized in the way of a scorpion. And then you got the katakana with the how to read it. Oh, okay, I was going to translate that text there, but actually, yeah, probably not a good idea. So this was probably the magazine cover, actually, not the original volume release. But it seemed like it was about to, like, spoil something, like what the plot was. So, I mean, not spoil it, you know, it's trying to get people to read it. But, you know, I want to go in completely blind as much as I can. I mean, though I can assume, let me just say, like, what do I assume? She's been falsely imprisoned because of something probably framed for a murder or was in the wrong place at the wrong time or something like that. But now, you know, she needs to prove her innocence while also defending herself in prison and, you know, probably trying to break out as well, but probably having many failed attempts, maybe being moved to more secure prisons over time and stuff like that. And of course, I've seen lots of, you know, tropes that are referencing this, lots of series that are referencing this thing, but just to give an idea, I guess I'll say, like, the things that I'm assuming, you know, the things that I've read that have stuck with me the most that are definitely pulling from this would be, like, Sasori Bancho from the series Kongo Bancho, and Jolene Kujo from JoJo. Those are, of course, like the two main things that I'm going to be thinking of in terms of like the influence from this, seeing it in those things. But I try not to bring up other series too much, but at the same time, you know, I want to be clear with that. But yeah, so maybe when we're done, we'll come back and translate this, and we'll look at some of these and whatnot. I'm not sure, actually, this is the 2008 movie, it might be spoilery and stuff, but, so I'm going to actually, so it does actually tell us that this release did come out at least, I would assume in 2008. I would assume it came out in 2008, maybe 2007 or something, but definitely not after 2008, I would assume. And if it was, it wouldn't be any further than like 2005 or something, right? So, sorry, 2010 or something I meant to say. So that does give us an idea. So this came out in the early 2000s, you know, 2000 to 2010, somewhere around there, definitely closer to like 2008. assumingly 2008. But so that gives me an idea. So this came out decades and decades and decades and decades later, this release that we're reading. And I mean, look at this spine as well. The spine's so thick. I mean, it's super wide. How many pages is this thing? Okay, yeah, 443 pages. And then it probably had ads and stuff like that as well. But, I mean, it has ads right here. Though also, I didn't even think about this, but this is by Shokugan Bunko. So I assume this is like a Bunkoban? As in, like, this is, very thick, but it's probably very small. Bunkoban is much smaller. I don't, have an example. I mean, well, hold on. First, so we've got an English volume here of manga, typical English volume, that's the size that we pretty much always come in. This is a typical Japanese volume of manga, bit smaller, right? A little bit smaller, not too much, but it's noticeably smaller. So then a Bunkoban would be even smaller than this. I'm not sure exactly how much smaller, but slightly smaller than that. Also comparing that to the. So, that should give you an idea of, what a Bunkoban is and how small this manga was physically, the release we're reading, but probably still of really good quality. Being scanned in, it doesn't matter for us, so. But, it gives you an idea. And actually, in addition to that, again, that's the 2008 release, whatever, but, most people are reading it in the actual magazine, so, the size of the magazine to the volume is also way bigger, but way less quality. So it's going to be the least good quality in the magazine with the biggest page size, and probably the best quality in the Bunkoban, which is the tiniest version of it. It's fucked how we get it that way, but yeah, I do wish it was more like comics, where comics, you get your issue, which is about the size of a magazine, maybe a little bit smaller or something. But then, when you get it in actual, collected form, it's typically bigger. It's even bigger than one of those magazines, and bigger than standard issue, and of higher quality. Really wish manga was like that, but, I mean, with now the digital age, it doesn't really matter, but. Also, I promise we will get to the manga in a second, but this is being sold for 600 yen. The average, volume of manga in Japan is around, 300 to 500 yen, so, this is, or actually around, 500 to 7, hold on, let me look it up. It's 700, actually, right? Yeah, I was wrong, actually. It's 500 to 700 now. Probably was a little bit cheaper before, but now, average volume of manga in Japan is around 500 to 700 yen. This one's 600, so literally just the normal price of a normal manga volume. Even though it has 2 times the amount of pages, 3 times the amount of pages maybe for some manga, the thinner ones. But let's say 2 times the amount of pages for the exact same price because it's smaller, pages, smaller pages overall and everything like that. So pretty good deal. And still, that, to give you an idea, that's 5 to 7 would be $3 to $5 or something like that in US. And then we have to pay $12 per volume in manga. I mean, of course, that's just the price you pay for anything that's an import, essentially. It's not, it gets translated over here and it gets sold as a different product and everything like that, but there's a lot of effort that has to go into translating and all that, versus they don't have to do any of that, so. Either way, just interesting note. I know I spend so much time going over all the extraneous details, but I'm someone who loves all the extraneous details, and there's timestamps. If you don't give a shit, you could just jump straight to it, so I don't feel bad about going over all this stuff. People that don't care won't watch this. But, so, some beautiful clouds that are some yellow piss color, though. And here's our main character. But again, we'll try not to look too much at this, and we'll look more at it at the end. Oh, we got our whole, characters in the volume. Love anything that actually does that to help keep track of them. But I also write down my own notes and everything like that. Okay, let's get started with the actual manga. Chapter 1, A Fortress of Women. And very much more adult style, art here. It's not Gekiga or anything like that. It's not of that. Which, let's go over that, I guess, really quick. There's, very, very quick, there's manga style, there's Gekiga style. Gekiga has been popping up around this time in the late 60s, 70s. That's why I bring it up in relative. Gekiga stands for, serious pictures, or means serious pictures. Manga means frivolous pictures. And so it's kind of the difference between comics and graphic novels. The word comic literally means comedic, but most comics aren't actually, haha funny comics, but we still use the same term. And so some people were like, I don't like this term anymore. Let's use graphic novel to make it more mature. Gekiga is the exact same sort of thing. But I wouldn't say this is a Gekiga style. I would say this is a manga style, but still wanting to be more mature looking. You can see it in the way that the lips are drawn, the way the extra lines are on the nose and the eyes and stuff. The type of shading in the hair, there actually is some shading going on. It's not block colors and stuff like that, or block shading. But yeah, so definitely someone who wants to be a little bit more respected. Also, definitely it makes me think of the Golgo 13 art style as well, which is running in the same magazine. Definitely feels similar there. Sharp eyebrows as well. And also the fact that she's not, like, super young. You would expect the main character of a series like this to be, like, early 20s, maybe, like, 19. But she seems like late 20s, I would say. Maybe even 30. I also know the artist for the mangaka of this is, like, 30 as well. Which, I don't know, I guess I just mentioned because I'm 30 now as well, so feels fitting. So, classic, just why prefecture, why correctional facility? Anywhere, somewhere. Just a prefecture, a correctional facility, an all-women's prison that is currently referred to as the Palace by its prisoners. Okay, the Palace. I'll write that down too. But alright, so we're here to see two of the women becoming incarcerated here. And she's got a bit of a much more rough and tumble look to her, versus she, I would expect her to be scared and stuff like that, and like to see her like become rougher over time from being in this prison, but she is coming into this prison already very hardened, it seems. Like she's already got those eyebrows, already got those eyes, and that smug expression on her face. She's definitely smug here. Doesn't feel like, she's expecting to stay here very long. Feels like even someone who's very hardened, you would expect to be a little more upset, like slightly more like scowling. But she's smug, like she expects to break out of here pretty quickly. But okay, what did they get you for? Oh, by the way, my name's Tatsuko. I was picking pockets in Shinjuku. Okay, so even something as small as picking pockets. So this isn't like a maximum security place or anything. They didn't say anything like that, right? Just a correctional facility, so just a prison. But the fact that it's called, like, the Palace, and I mean, look at these walls. It looks pretty maximum security. By the way, like, the ko of the name is just, like, something you attach for, like, a feminine name or whatever. But the tatsu, it's a lot of stuff, but I would classify it as, like, doing something, with your life. Like, not that's making it bigger than it is. It's, like, to be, to get, to do, but specifically, like, Japan has very specific language. It's not simply just to be, to get, to do, but in instances of, like, running for office, or sustaining yourself in life, or standing up for something, or revolutionizing, or something like that. So I would say, like, it's a someone who, is willing to make their own means, which I guess comes from the, picking pockets and everything like that. But, her name kind of just means a girl who can find her own means, I would say. Yeah, no talking immediately. So restrictive. Yeah, why do they give a shit that we have a chat? Come on. But alright, gonna go see the warden. But okay, so Sasori is not her actual name. Sasori is just like a title or something. But her name is actually Matsushima Nami. Okay. And her name is actually very interesting. Matsushima is one of the 3 sites of Japan, as in like one of the 3, the 3 places you gotta see. If you live in Japan, you go to Japan, and these are the 3 places you gotta see. They're like a grouping of islands. And then Nami is waves. So I assume it's like the waves of Matsushima Islands, is like what her name is. But yeah, very interesting that she is like, named after one of the 3 great sites of Japan. Probably says a lot about like how beautiful she is supposed to be and everything like that. But also like the waves, both making waves, that sort of saying, but also like waves crashing into the surface feels very strong as well. She's not the island itself, but the waves that crash upon it. I don't know, but interesting that, like, right off the bat, we're having some names that definitely have some meaning to them. And okay, attempted murder for her. And yeah, next, I'm guilty of what it says there. She's just so open immediately. And this guy, bald, with a lumpy ass head, scar down his eye, like missing his eye as well. Big old fucking, like, monkey lines. I always think of those as the monkey lines. But okay, yeah. He said next, and she tries to say, oh, I'm guilty of what it says there, but no. He do it formally. This man's all about doing it formally. But okay, so, again, she's named after a prefecture. Both these characters are just named after, like, places in Japan, interestingly enough. But yeah, so she's 20, and the other girl's 27, so nailed it with her. But yeah, of course, as I said, yeah, just listen to your supervisors, focus on rectifying yourselves. He's all about by the book, by the books. And alright, now our uniforms. And okay, so yeah, she's had a friend who's been in here before, gotten in and out. So yeah, clothes are as lame as my friend told me they'd be. Okay, what? They seriously? I thought she was joking. Like, whoa, what is it, bath time? I guess yeah. The what? Like, no, I guess they didn't know. But no, yeah. So being hosed down and everything like that. Cover up your ears. She's not even covering her ears. But yeah, so she's known about everything that's gonna happen here. She's like not shocked about this or anything like that. So has she been in prison before, or why is she so confident here? But then yeah, hit them with the water. I guess they just don't want the water going in their ears or something. It's probably like really, really hot water or really, really cold water, but I'm not sure. I would assume actually really cold water. Is this just disinfectant? I thought it was just water. Like, I mean, I guess water can disinfect you in a way, but yeah, she's so calm and collected during all this. And yep, your ID numbers will be your new names. Sure to take care of your clothes and underwear. The same goes for all your other equipment here. 701. I assume that's Sasori or Nami. All right, now this is our supervisor, Mr. Hayashi. Do I need to write this guy's name down? He's our supervisor. I guess I will. I think you're going to the second shared cell. Imagine it's not a very big place then. I don't know. We'll see. Is this the only area, or is there a lot more? Oh, new soldiers. Ha, look at them trying to act cool. Look at these faces. That face is crazy. Okay. So this guy can draw very well detailed up front, but he is not good at the far away face. It's something that's tough, It's something that's tough, especially you watch anime. A lot of animators are not good at the far away shots, but there's it's something I think about a lot, like being able to draw a face and the details of a character when they're far away. But alright, our room is number 2. Let me write that down, because there's been other prison series where I keep forgetting what our damn room number is all the time, so this time, let me write it down. And alright, you just straight up listen carefully to your cell leader's orders already. I thought you weren't supposed to be acknowledging that, but okay, you're just gonna acknowledge it. But alright, in we go. And yeah, what is with that smug-ass face? What is her deal? Yeah, love how, like, hardened all the women in here are. This is not just a place for like, people casually... What am I trying to say? Like, this seems more maximum security than it is. This seems like it's got a lot of hardened criminals in here. But the pickpocketing, really surprising. But yeah, look at her face, and us seeing her... Very interesting. I love this dynamic. I love having the extremely, hardened, quiet person here who's not saying anything. We got all the mystery. And then the person who is not our main character, we're getting all of her thoughts and we're following her way more. But yeah, so this has got to be the boss here. But, I'm Fukushima, Tatsuko. I'm completely new here. Quit fucking around. Don't you have any idea where you are? Ugh, hits her in the fucking neck. Ugh, that looks painful. That's the seat of honor. Okay, would she... It's just in the middle of the floor? The seat of honor is in the middle of the floor? Newbies need to bow down to the lowest seat when they introduce themselves. Okay, what seat? What are you talking about? But yeah, she's our cell leader. Let's not disobey her. Matsushima Nami, was it? Did we not even introduce ourselves, right? We didn't introduce ourselves at all. She just knows our name. You suffering from nerve pain or something? Nerve pain? No. Oh, yeah? Then get that head down on the ground. Alright. But yeah, she's already quite defiant. Okay, yeah, and grabs that hammer from her. She tries to slap again. And then tries to stomp on her. Is she going to have taken her down, the boss? No, okay. Just break it up. Wasn't sure if it was going to be a, like, from this to this was like a bit of a time jump, but no. One of the newbies feeling homesick. Just give her some comfort, that's all. But she managed to block that blow. And yeah, Tatsuko immediately is trying to tattle and everything like that, but snitches get stitches, girl. You're going to learn that the hard way. But, you better actually thank this person for holding you back. But yeah, what are the consequences she's going to face for that are? And yeah, we have to even ask the supervisor to when we go to the bathroom. Of course we do. You see any place to tinkle in this can? That's so fucked. I'm not surprised that the women prisons are even fucking worse than all the men's prisons. Of course, all the men are committing way worse crimes, and they get off so much easier. At least they have a fucking bathroom in their cell at this time. You know, like, of course, you know, modern stuff, but I mean, even the prison stuff we read at this time in the 60s and 70s, like, the male prisons have it way better off than this. But women always get the shit into the stick anywhere in life. And damn, E.G. was actually going to get 5 blankets? That's pretty good, actually. I do like that. I mean, to be fair, you're sleeping on the floor, so you need those 5 blankets. Like, to put, like, 2 under you and then sleep with, like, 3 on top of you, because the floor, you know, sucks the heat away and everything like that. So, like, if you don't have something to, like, I mean, either way, 5 blankets probably ain't even going to cut it, especially in the winter and everything like that, when there's no heat in here and everything like that. You know, it sounds crazy, but like 5 blankets is absolutely fucking needed, especially in Japan where it gets way colder than it does, you know, in like the States, for example. And yeah, so matter of fact, somebody stole them. What are you gonna do? And okay, they stole them so that way they could fucking suffocate us, or what are they gonna do? Yeah, they're like putting it all over us and then jumping on top of us. What? Ow, they're gonna crush me. Like, obviously this has gotta hurt, but as far as like prison taking your lumps goes, this has got to be the easiest taking your lumps I've ever seen in my life. Okay, I see. Just scrum around for them. They're making us their men for tonight. Okay. This isn't like a bullying thing. This is just like their way of getting off. They're just like, you know, humping you and you know, using you to come. That's all it is. And of course, bowl of rice and then the teeniest, tiniest amount of protein you could possibly imagine. And of course, yep, knock it out of her hands, spill it all over the floor. Oh, she just said there's no way she could eat this pig slop, so she threw her bowl on the ground. Yeah, can't tattle what, you know, actually happened. Yeah, time she'll be crawling around the toilet looking for extra crumbs. Ugh. And yeah, make sure you clean it up. No dinner tonight. And yeah, stomps her foot into it too to make sure it's fully dirtied up and everything. But you know, she's withstanding it. She's withstanding it. She's holding her ground. Honestly, this is way better than I was expecting. Like, for being able to, like, you know, the fact that she prevented her from slapping her, you would expect that she got it way worse than she's been getting it. She's been getting it, you know, way easier. Okay, so the boss went to go use the bathroom, then let something slip, a piece of toilet paper with assuming something written on it to, Oh, is this actually not? Was this actually a mistake? Okay. Okay, her name is Toda. I see. Toda Kaneko. Okay. Why'd you have a map of the facility on you? Okay. So is this something that that Nami did, actually? Nami drew this up, slipped it into her. I see. But I don't know. It could be hers. She could just be, like, fully denying it, but... But yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. Is this hers? Did someone actually plant it for her? Plant it on her? I don't know. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so they're putting her in solitary. They're saying she's going to lose her cell leader status. They're also start back from 4th class. So, like, are we in 2nd class? Is that the cell we're in? 2nd class? And she's being sent to 4th class? What does that mean? But either way, taking away her fucking cell leader status. So that's not even something they're just like... They're like... You know, in the men's prison, they're like, oh, no, there's nothing going on, you know. The idea of, like, cell leaders and stuff like that doesn't exist. That's crazy. You know, that would be illegal. Here, they're just like, no, we're going to straight up have a whole organizational structure with the cell leaders. That's crazy. Again, the women prisons, they don't give a fuck here, apparently. But yeah, so she's going to lose that status. She's not even going to be in the same cell anymore, so she can't fuck with us anymore. So, damn, Nami really lucked out here. Not lucked out, you know. She made this happen. You know, god damn. And solitary is, of course, so much smaller than it is in the men's prison. You don't even have room to fucking walk around in there. That's a fucking locker, basically. Jesus Christ. Yeah, who could have possibly planted on me? Who do you think? Who do you think? And she just... I thought she was gonna, like, you know... realize it, but she's not realizing it at all. She's truly like, I have no idea who could have framed me. Idiot. Absolute idiot. Okay, she's been bumped down all the way from 1st to 4th class. So class is not to do with the cells. She'd probably still be in the same cell, but of a different class now. So, like, you know, 1st class can be the cell leaders, or I assume, or something like that. Probably take another 4 or 5 years to rack up enough. So this is like a maximum security prison then. It seems like it. The fact that she's going to be in here for decades. Jesus. And they were going to release her next year, but now she got 5 more years to her sentence. Not even a court case. Nothing. No judicialness to this at all. Just straight up the fucking jailers are able to just say, nah, 5 more years. Insane. That is not how that's supposed to work. But, you know, I'm not surprised at this point. This woman's prison is so beyond corrupt already. We're in the first chapter and this place is so corrupt already. And she's the one with the pencil. Made a little top out of it and everything. God damn. Just showing off. Alright, that was the whole first chapter. Good first chapter. And like great ending here bit too. Like, you know, so much manga at this time is like what you would call continued stories. Which is the difference between every chapter you're getting a little individual tale. It doesn't have to be standalone or anything like that. But versus like, you know, there's not like a cliffhanger here. A cliffhanger would be a continued story. And like pretty much every single manga from the 60s and 70s we've read has been that. You know, other than like Go Nagai. Go Nagai doesn't want to do that, but everybody else does basically continue stories. The chapters just end in the middle of a page. Just wherever the mangaka decide, you know, they're just like writing, like, oh, that's 20 pages, done. You know, there's no actual ending to any of the chapters. It just keeps going and going and going. And like, I've read every single Marvel comic from the 60s as well. And, you know, you see a lot of that as well, the individual stories. Then they go to continued stories and stuff like that. I'm definitely much more fan of this sort of thing. And great satisfying ending in the first chapter. This could just be a first chapter thing, but I'm hoping each chapter can kind of stand on its own. Well, of course, you know, even not being a continued story, of course it's a serialized series. But you know what I mean. It's just the term that's used in this era. I'm not sure what we would say now, but... Chapter 2. A sweet tizap? That can't be an R, right? There's no universe in which that's an R. It's just it's just that part of the R, but not the line on the left. Actually, hold on. It should be up here. Yeah, a sweet trap. Okay. So yeah, this is supposed to be a sweet trap. That's a crazy R. It'd be like drawing a P with just that. Not this line, just that line. So what the hell kind of R is that? Oh yeah, I guess I could have checked right there. Yeah, chapter. Insane R. But okay, here's a good shot of our prison. So it is a pretty small prison relatively, but it is definitely looks... I wouldn't say it's maximum security either. It is just a really fucked prison. But yeah, this place is not maximum security actually. I also thought it had like a panopticon thing when we saw it in the first image, but doesn't seem like it actually. But yeah, so this place is actually quite small, all things considered. Just very harsh. We had some color pages here originally that we don't get to see, sadly. But they're out in the yard playing some volleyball without a net. They're just playing keep-uppies, maybe. And the way her hair is drawn here, like in the color, it's a lot darker than that. I wonder what color it is. And do we see it in the... okay, hold on, we're on like page 30 or whatever. Let me go back to the very beginning. What color was her hair? I guess we don't get to see it, actually. I guess, yeah, it's cut off. Like, I don't get to see it in color in any of these, so... I don't know what color hair she has. But yeah, I would have assumed blonde, but this makes me think it's actually more like a light brown, perhaps. Something like that. Yeah, complaining about them playing without them. The ball never goes over to them, but that's not going to happen. Just focus on getting points on your good deeds list and raising your rank. Your good deeds list? What the fuck is okay, I'm starting to go, is this prison really fucked? Or is this just the author doing zero research on prisons at all? I'm starting to believe maybe that's it. It's just that this guy has no earthly idea what the prisons are like. Again, or this is accurate to like certain Japanese prisons at this time. Maybe all the women prisons were like this, but I've read a lot of prison stuff and I've never seen anything like this. A good deeds list and a rank? What the fuck? I gotta write that down because it's so crazy. I'm not gonna remember that. Yeah, rank this, rank that. Just take SIGs to a guard and get your points that way. I see. Yeah, I mean, like, are you paying for the SIGs and then giving them to the guard? Or are you, like, just take SIG? Like, not just get SIGs and give it to a guard, but just take SIGs to a guard. Are you, like, stealing somebody else's SIGs and doing that? But anyway, like, yeah, the ranking up and everything like that. Is this a thing, like, again, where it was like, well, she was class 1, and then she was about to be released. Now she's like class 4, and now she has 5 more years because of that? Or is it because of like the solitary thing? I would assume it's more like that, but like, you know, with the way that the wardens here, not the wardens, but the what am I trying to, the jailers, what's the term, not jailers, what's the term for that for prisons? Just guards, I guess prison guards, yeah, like if the prison guards are able to just extend your sentence, it's not even like the warden, it's like the prison guards are extending your sentence, then like, I imagine if you do good deeds, they can lower your sentence, like you don't need to go to a court and do an appeal and all that, the guards themselves can just lower your sentence. Again, that does not feel accurate to real life in any way, but apparently that's the case here. And who knows, maybe that is accurate at this time. The crazier things have happened. And yeah, you really seem to know a lot about this prison. How do you know so much about this? She also knew the whole layout and everything like that. Is this something like, you know, her father is connected here or something? I doubt it'd be like the warden or anything like that, but yeah, you said it was your first time. Let me guess, your husband or one of your boyfriends taught it to you all. I don't think it's that, but she does have a look like that's kind of true. Maybe it is that. Yes, I was right. You really are 2 peas in a pod. And then punches her or smacks her or something. Yeah. Stop, you're going to hurt her. This whole manga is so weird. But yeah, you think you're gonna get away with that newbie? That I don't understand. But stop! You're gonna hurt her. So weird. Well, you can still see this handprint in her face. She like grabbed a rock to start beating her ass and everything. But yeah, so she's stopping her so that way she doesn't go to solitary. But yeah, I'm just who the hell do you think I am, huh? I killed 2 people out there. Damn. Okay. Yeah, they called me Masako the Shanker. But okay. You might want to steer clear of her. And now everybody else is getting punished because of our whole fight. Man, that sucks. And also, like, yeah, the fact... Oh, shit, I forgot to write down the other girl's name, actually. Let me go do that really quick. But yeah, the fact that they were like, you know, these are your prison numbers, and we're only going to be referring to you by your prison numbers from now on, so you better remember them. And then they've just been like, you know, oh, Toda, Masa. She's got a nickname too, not even Masako. Masa. What happened to being called by her damn prison numbers? But yeah. So, Matsushima, you really want to go to solitary that badly, huh? Alright, the warden just gave you warning the other day, but there's still all this fighting going on in cell number 2. Yeah. And people have been starting to say I'm getting lazy with my management. Me, an officer who's worked in this prison for over a decade. Ever since your cell leader got sent to solitary, your cell's been experiencing many more fights and problems than the others. So yeah, she's the problem girl and hits her with the fucking bamboo whip. Trying to say it's all my fault? No, I'm not. But you need to remember that reasons and proof don't mean much in here. Yeah? I'll let you off this time with one condition. Receive complaints complaining that the cell leader was framed. Anonymous complaints, of course. But okay, we got a new one. A new prisoner here. But alright, down to the workshop with us. I know. She's actually concerned for us and everything. Okay. So, okay, newbie's name is Kita. She's a mute. I was about to say, like, you know, the fact she goes, that's all she says. But okay, so we got a mute here. Kita. I mean, it would not be a prison series without someone who's mute. They are in every single prison series, I feel like. Not literally every single one, but you know what I mean? Like, they're so prevalent and so much stuff. But I feel like it makes sense because, you know, when you're in a prison, you're already being restricted in every single way imaginable. The only thing you really have to still have, you know, some sense of freedom is speech. To be able to still speak your mind and everything like that. And still there's restrictions to that. But at least there's, you know, you can still somewhat speak your mind and everything like that. You know, your freedom of voice is really all you have left. And so then to be mute on top of that, you don't have the one freedom you still have. You are truly being oppressed in every single way in here. You have no freedom. And okay, so there does seem to be he put in some amount of research here, I'm going to assume. He's not just pulling all this out of his ass. Work done inside prisons differs by gender, but in many cases, prisoners work on specialty products from the surrounding areas. In Y Correctional Facility, many of the prisoners work on processing and packaging mosquito-repelling incense coils, which includes the boxing, packaging, and taping. Okay. Yeah, I've never even seen these outside of Japan too. Do they work really well? You would think if they worked really well, you'd see them internationally and stuff. But surprised I don't see them anywhere else. Never thought mosquitoes would be torturing me in prison of all places. Yeah. Or 8 hours, and all they ever give us is 50 or 60 yen. Jesus. I mean, it's slavery, you know? We've been saying it for 100 years. Prison labor is nothing more than slavery. It is just slavery being legal and people being okay with it. But it is slavery. It is slavery. I'd rather be bit by the mosquitoes. Where's a good shanking when you need one? And then what's here? She takes away some of her work? What? Not sure what's going on here. So, like, they... okay. They don't really seem to have any problem with it. Like, she hasn't done anything. It's just like, well, she is the newbie, I guess, so they want to fuck with her. So, they take away some of her stuff. She notices that it's gone. They laugh. She's worrying, sweating. Then she goes to do it again or something. And then, I assume Nami, throws an incense coil at her. But, what were they doing? Taking away her... I'm not sure what they were doing at all. Because if they were taking away her work, doesn't that make it easier for her? But yeah, once again, trying to start a fight with her. But no, of course I'm not. Guess you must have been a better thief out there. Can't believe you actually tried to swipe someone's product. Okay, these are like finished ones, and so she is like swiping her finished ones, that way she can get done sooner. Masako, the shanker. Okay, I see. Yeah, and you decide to pick on the mute of all people, the one person who couldn't rat you out. But yeah, just what did I swipe, huh? Well, did I steal your stuff? Answer me. Yeah, hell with it already, tell me. Yeah, she can't speak back. But yeah, of course, Matsushima's getting in trouble for this. But the mute girl's trying to stand up for her as well. But now... Mute girl's gonna be left alone with all these nasty prisoners. Tries to give him one last look, saying don't fuck with her, but don't know if it's gonna work or not. And now she's in solitary. And okay, so the mute girl ended up in number 2. Okay, let me add her there to that one. I mean, so far, all we've seen is cell number 2. And yeah, anyone tries to mess with me is gonna end up just like her. Yeah, trying to give the mutie a warning. Yeah, I can't even stretch her legs out all the way when she sleeps now. I can't fucking believe how awful the fucking solitary confinement of this woman's prison is. Oh my god. Yeah, she must be wailing up a storm in that cement box. The solitary blues. But nope, she's probably just, I mean, as we see, she's just in here dealing with it. I mean, it's also crazy. They're like, a solitary where you can't even stretch your legs out when you sleep. Like, that is literal torture. That is torture we do to prisoners of war. That is straight up recognized by the Geneva Convention as torture. And this prison's just fucking doing it. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff prisons do that go against the Geneva Conventions. Abolish all prisons. Fuck them all. Yep. Just bullying her and mocking her and everything right now. But we're going to have a rude awakening once Matsushima gets out. That's for damn sure. And she's not even eating her food. Or did he just deliver the food or something? I'm not sure. Yeah, the time in here is almost up, so before you get out, I want you to crawl on your hands and knees and promise me you'll never cause any trouble again. Ignored. Completely ignored. Yep. Hasn't even shown the tiniest bit of remorse. Let's keep her in there for 4 or 5 more days. Alright. And alright, now it's been 4 or 5 days, assumingly, or they just released her immediately. Unclear. But either way, she's out now. It looks like it's had to have been longer, so it's been like another 5 days. She is physically exhausted. I mean, her muscles have been, not been able to move at all for days on end. I mean, that can have some permanent damage as well. Alright, back to volleyball. And then, what's this? A letter was snuck into whatever the hell that is. Let me see if I can Google Translate that. Suggestion box. They have a suggestion box. That's actually very funny. Oh, but I'm sure they ignore everything that's written in it. But what is this? I know who framed Toda and got her sent to solitary in order to take over her position. I want to explain what I saw and show you proof. I want to tell you the truth without hiding anything. Please meet me by the garbage disposal units. Okay, but this has got to be Matsushima, right? She's setting up somebody else. I think Matsushima is going to be setting up Masako, the Shanker. Yep. That's Matsushima. Alright, yeah. Who cares about that? I just really wanted to see you alone. Okay, that's actually all it was. And then, okay, gonna get him in trouble. Stripped out, like, take her titties out. Get all over him. And then, call out for the others or something like that. Okay, someone's already seeing it and everything. Damn, did she plan, tell someone else to be here at this time or something? But, how is she gonna, frame this in a way? I mean, well, to be fair, he's immediately putting his hand on her ass, so okay, it did not take long at all. He immediately went for it. But alright, yeah, now everybody here. And yeah, he got naked, started trying to actually fuck her and everything. Hell yeah! Oh my god, genius plan. I mean, from all the way back here, where is it? Here, just this whole page, made it so clear that he is, 100% a, this guy is infatuated with her. He is lusting over her and everything like that. It's nothing that he's actually saying, but just the attitude he has, the wanting to dominate her, the fact that he can't dominate her is frustrating him so much. You can already tell from there how much he wanted this. Yeah, I was so scared. He just attacked me all of a sudden. Oh, you're the one who called me out here. And what do we say about this prison, huh? What do we say? Proof? Who gives a shit about that? Who's in the right? We don't give a shit about that. You said it. That's the law of this prison, bud. Yeah, who's the one who found him out here? It's the mute. She can't say anything. Okay, actually, so she just has she's not mute, fully mute. She has a strained voice, I imagine. It's not a mental thing, I imagine. It's a physical thing. Her physical voice box is messed up. So she can, if she stresses hard enough, speak. But, it's a strained voice box, I assume. But yeah, Master Ayashi also took me inside here and... Oh my god, she's adding to it. She's adding on to it, working together. Hell yeah, girl. Kita, hell yeah, we got an ally already. Yeah, they're both lying. Both the women are lying. Yeah, why would they? She's new here too, and she's a mute. Why would she be lying about this? But alright, time to get our supervisor reprimanded, get a new supervisor here. The Sweet Trap, yeah. I wonder if this was originally called the Honey Trap, or if it was just the Sweet Trap. But yeah, got him with that Honey Trap, bitch. Hell yeah! And I love how each of these chapters is very, it's telling a story within each chapter. Really appreciate that. I've been missing it from these 60s. The 60s have been so just endless and no even cliffhangers, just immediately flowing into the next thing. But yeah, interesting also that this was we focused a lot on Masako for this chapter, the first half, and then halfway through we introduced Kita, and then we switched to Kita and the supervisor for our main focus. But yeah, interesting that we didn't have Masako be the main focus. Chapter 3, A Black Lore. And a line of them all going somewhere. A black lore makes me think of black as in dark or edgy or something like that, as in you are luring somebody. If the last chapter was a honeypot, a sweet trap, then this is the opposite. Not something sweet, but something oh, there's a person over here who we can all beat up. It's not gonna be that, but as an example, there's someone over here we can all beat up. Let's all go over this way. An alluring thing that is alluring because of the kind of prisoners we have here. It is alluring because it's black morality or something. But okay, so we're going out to do some work out in the farms and stuff. What is that called again? Where you're working out in the fields in a prison. So what are they trying to do? The sunlight has made the grass too hard to do whatever it is they're doing. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I think about all the time, where they're just gather up with your group, take a rest, you got 10 minutes, and her oh my god, I've heard that so many times, I can get a callus in my ear. Just hearing the exact same order over and over again, day in, day out, for years, drive you up the wall. Okay, they keep making us pull up grass. Okay, they're trying to plant something, so they're pulling up, I assume, weeds? They're just pulling up grass. I guess, Pulling up the grass? Why not you just get like a, you know, a tiller or something? Get a machine. Okay, they're planting chrysanthemums. What the hell's that for? Yeah, I hope I never get old, so it's just like a flower that people like or something, or is there an actual purpose to it? Okay, connected to the mosquito coils. Yeah, flowers can use a natural insect repellent. Okay. So yeah, it's all just connected to the damn mosquito coils you do for your whole damn life. Interesting, noting here that, you know, she's just sort of like watching the ants, you know, eat this dead bug here, and then this guy comes in. You know, we see him like walking past. He steps on it. She's following him. Just an interesting, you know, thing to be depicting. That, like, you know, he's stepping on things smaller than him. Okay, new person here, Masaki. Well, we have Masako. Let me make sure this isn't just like a typo or something. You need to learn to come when you're called. You're still not calling them by their damn numbers. You told them learn your numbers, and it didn't matter. But okay, both of them are being moved to cell number 4. Okay, so that is her. So which is it? Is it Masako or is it Masaki or Masako? Which one is it? I'll write down both. Okay, so in cell number 4 and 5, they use work to tire us out. So is this a flashback? That's why we were like focusing on this. Okay, so this is gonna be one of those classic early like 60s, 70s manga where we're doing a lot of like cinematic storytelling. This was supposed to be a flashback. It's always so hard to tell for me when we're doing a flashback or a transition through like this sort of stuff at the time. There's no transition panels. They're just like, well, you know, we're seeing a guy walk there at the camp, then we're seeing a guy walk at the prison, and we're supposed to go, this isn't us cutting ahead, this is us cutting back. But okay, so that's why we're out there. So now we've moved to cell 4. Aww. Gives her a little pat on the head, Akita, she leaves. Hope we can eventually get back there, or maybe she'll join us in cell 4 somehow, but... And yet this place has gotten lonelier. We lost all our fighters. The boss, and now them too. But alright, now here's cell 4. And okay, did our boss get moved in here? Yeah, the old cell leader got moved in here too. Okay, so she got moved cells. So when they said she was going to be demoted to Class 4, is Class 4 Cell 4? Is that separate? I thought it was separate, but now I'm starting to think it's the same. But yeah, the fact that they bumped me down to 4th rank, so just coincidence. She's 4th ranked and in the 4th cell. Just coincidence. Lost a little bit of weight too. Yeah, I bet I did. They have us working with dirt and grass every day, you know. Yeah, it's got to be exhausting. And then, oh yeah, again, just standing above you. Like the previous time, but this time it's for an actual beating. And I love the women here. The women here are all like actually very old. We got a lot of the young people in cell 2, and everybody here seems like in their 40s, maybe even older. So okay, they're just trying to get her to confess. Just confess. You're the one who did it, right? You're the one who got her in trouble and everything. And okay, so it was the warden that was going to pardon her. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, but like, was the warden the one who extended her sentence then? I assume it's not the guards, it's the warden. But yeah, they didn't find that pencil anywhere. I wonder what she did with it. I mean, maybe she just took it to the bathroom, flushed it down or something. Stop wasting time, just strip her already. Oh, okay? Why? And now gag her up. I guess they're just stripping her for humiliation? Because it doesn't seem like there's any... Yeah, they're just beating her up. So it's just for humiliation, I guess. Yeah, being kicked in the chin by somebody this big, too. God damn, that's got to be really painful. I love the art for all the women here too, though. I appreciate that he's not just like drawing a bunch of like sexy women, that he's actually drawing a bunch of realistic women here in these prisons. Okay, so strip her naked so we can try and find the pencil inside her. I see. That, yeah, because she might need it for future stuff, so she wanted to keep it instead of getting rid of it. That makes a lot more sense. But did she actually? Oh my god, that's... That's a hell of a way to censor. Oh my god, so funny. But, whoa, what happens? So she goes to reach in, then she, like, you know, uses her, like, upper body strength to, like, lift her lower body higher, so that way she can, like, flip or something? Is she trying to flip here? I'm not exactly sure what she's doing. What is this pose? What the hell? I gotta say, the art is very difficult to follow here. Definitely reminds me of, like, again, like Golgo 13, but also like Wild 7 reminds me of that. It has some very weird art as well. Or not weird art, but just like hard to follow. You know, and I you know, even with modern series, sometimes I have a hard time following what the hell it's supposed to be saying, but it isn't in there, and that knocked her out. What? They looked in her pussy, and that made her... She got blood coming from her face. Okay, no. It's specifically, she must have, like, punched her here. The thud here must have been what knocked her out. Or, like, she hit her during the Say It panel or something and knocked her out. But still, I have no idea what's going on between these 3 panels. No idea. And then just leave her passed out and naked. Just the light from the window shining on her body, like the prison bars and the stripes on a uniform. And now, going back to working there that day. And the shift is up 10 days in a row, 20 days in a row. The work never ended. Gotta get out from under this cell. Gotta get higher again. And the old bulldog here, she's trying to give it up, saying I can't do it anymore. Nerve pain in my lower back's acting up, but yeah, begging, but keep working. You move from cell 4 always take the longest. Oh my god. Yeah, no matter what you do. Because the delay in the planting period, the work went on and on. Yeah, it's probably just like all their progress being erased. And then what was that? Oh, a power line. Lightning. Oh, okay, it's going to actually rain. Finally, it's raining. Now the work will actually go a little bit faster now. But, yeah, the lightning. That's bad. That's terrifying. And the sudden rain, too. It's like a out of nowhere sudden thunderstorm. Oh, yeah, well, wait, everyone. Now's our chance to escape. What? Escape? Hey, right now, during the thunderstorm, she's just been thinking about this the whole time. 20 days of working nonstop. But she's just gonna... She didn't have, like, a plan. She was so smug, but she didn't actually have any real plan. She's been improvising pretty much everything. But yeah, missed this chance. May never get another one. Would rather spend a few more years, perhaps your entire life inside here. But, actually, this could be a trick. Get all of them to try and escape. You don't. Then, get the benefit from that. It's so interesting that, like, yeah, I've never seen another series like this, another prison series like this, where it's just the main character trying to, like, get everybody in trouble. I don't think I've ever seen in a prison series where, like, the main character is the one trying to get everybody in trouble. It's typically the villain of all these series, but, like, our main character is the main villain here. She's the one making everybody's life worse inside this prison. But, I mean, of course, she's just defending herself, but, just talking about, like, every other prison series, she is definitely presented to be, her typical type of character is presented as the villain. And, yeah, you say, as they said, like, oh, I know every inch of this land and everything, so, perfect opportunity. Those who are scared are welcome to stay behind. But alright, everybody's going. Yep, all of cell 4. They're the problem ones too. Yep, get the rifles, get the warden. But yeah, she's going with them right now. For right now, she's either going to have to double back, or she is just planning to escape. Let's spend the night in that hut. Are you stupid? Are you fucking absolutely fucking dumb as hell? What are you talking about? They're going to immediately find you. But, okay, they do. They all just stay here. Dumbass. No way the guards will make it this far. What do you mean? And police dogs won't be able to help them either. Because of the rain, you underestimate a police dog. You underestimate just dogs' noses in general if you think they can't find you in this rain. Yeah, I'm just glad I made it this far. Now I'll finally be able to see my son again. And look who's not here. Okay, and then Matsu said she's gonna go watch for the guards. Nope, just gonna invite the guards here. Yeah, get those good boy points. Yep, add prison escape to the list of their crimes and then return all their files to me. Yep, does this mean there's only one person left in cell 4? That's right. It's Nami. It's Matsushima. Oh, got the whole place to herself now. Still didn't like take all their blankets or anything. She's still just chilling on the floor. But yeah, I was right. That's the black lure was escaping. That's what the blackness was. Chapter 4, a mad reward. And ooh, some good fucking sketch shading on this one. Hell yeah. Real nice. But yeah, a mad reward. A mad reward. What does that mean? Huh. I don't know. Let's get into it. Alright, now they're all just planting and everything. So yeah, planting and fence repairs. I assume is that for the fence repairs? All these fucking logs in the background? And yeah, fence to prevent them from escaping. But no, okay, yeah, it's not for them escaping. Yeah, if you get over that prison wall, this is a piece of cake. But yeah, it's just so nobody steals the chrysanthemums. If you're trying to steal flowers from a prison, that's bold as hell. Yeah, I thought all the thieves were in here. This fence, this fucking fence. And yeah, they're making us do their duties. This is what the fucking prison staff's supposed to be doing. What else would you expect from a women's prison? Okay. So I'm glad that, they're saying the quiet part out loud. This is, no male prison would have to do any of this shit. This is always the fucking women prisons. But okay, mute girl. Getting to have a little chat with her again. Chat with her. Matsushima, a cell leader? What do you mean? Since when did you become a cell leader? Who's allowed to order other prisoners around? Okay, I see, yeah. I thought it was dangerous, yeah. Who made you the judge of that, huh? You're chewing on the grass. Yeah, everybody's staring. Everybody keep working. Sure look pretty confident. Guess it's okay to leave all the top work to you then. I see. So yeah, the top work isn't like you gotta be up on those beams doing shit, apparently, like tying them up and stuff. Okay, I see. But okay. That wasn't bad at all, but, okay, what is this? Time to start the can-can dance. What is that? The can-can dance. After any work is finished, either inside or outside, prisoners are forced to strip and climb over a pyramid of boxes in order to check whether or not they're hiding anything on their bodies. Their armpits, crotches, hair, inside their ears are all thoroughly inspected. Movements resemble the can-can dance, so that's what the prisoners call it. I see. Again, something the women prisoners have to do that none of the male prisoners have ever had to do. Because for certain, this has absolutely nothing about checking what they have inside their bodies. If it was that, the male prisoners would do it. But it's not about that. It's just about, humiliating them. That's all it's about. But yeah, not a single nail, piece of earthenware, or cigarette is permitted. Nothing but the uniforms they went out with. If a weapon or anything that can be used as one is discovered, the prisoner is punished. If a prisoner turns in something like that to a guard, it gets written down on their good deeds list, which could allow them to rise in rank or even get pardoned. Okay, yeah, so I love that it's just a fucking good deeds list. This whole prison is run exactly how you would imagine a women's prison to be run. So fucking dehumanizing. But, what's going on? Middle of the night, this girl wakes up and sees somebody hanging. Somebody killed themselves. Damn, it's the old bulldog. Yeah, Granny. She couldn't take it anymore. The pain was just too much. Okay, yeah, Granny Okuda. That's who it is. Now waking Matsushima up as well. Looks like there was a suicide in the special cell. The special cell. Some granny named Okuda. Okay, so you know some of these people's names, but not all of them. Use the numbers then. Jeez, I mean, like I should be glad they're not using the numbers, but it's just crazy that we brought up the whole number thing. She was even like, 701. And it has not come up since, where there's no numbers on any of the uniforms. But yeah, and she's happy. She's happy she took her out. She really is our villain. She is a nasty, nasty woman. Like, I've just never seen another prison series. Like, I've seen all the prison series people are defending themselves. 90% of the stuff here doesn't really feel like defending herself anymore. It's just like, no, she is just the worst. Honestly, with how smug she is and everything like that and everything here, I wouldn't be surprised if she's actually like a plant here. Like, that's why all the, that's why she's acting the way she is with everything. Her, she's undercover, so that way the guards and the warden here don't know about her or anything. But it could be a thing where, like, from even higher up than the guards and wardens, she's been placed here, in order to just, get the prisoners even in more trouble, in order to find them out and everything like that, to be like the rat, essentially. And yeah, so she ripped off a piece of her blanket and turned it into a rope. That's how she was able to do it. She formed a family, but she doesn't even have any. Had a son, but he was in an accident a month ago. Damn. And no one even told her. Damn, that's crazy. She died not even knowing her son's dead. Now bringing in the other 4 that escaped. But yeah, surely you must understand everything now. Matsushima's the one who's responsible for Okuda's suicide. I mean, she is, honestly. Like, she has got a death on her hands now. She was the one who riled everyone up to escape in the first place. And all 5 of us fell right into her trap. After what happened, there wasn't a day when Granny Okuda wasn't crying. She's so torn up over it. Hell of a woman, Okay, we've investigated it all on our end as well, but the fact remains, all you plan to escape together. But then why is why is she not in the cell as well? I can never remember her last name. Matsushima. Yeah, and he won't hear him out at all. This warden's so terrible. Like he's so surprised like at every turn. Like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? I've run such a tight ship. Yeah, but that's why. That's exactly why. You're doing all this, like, you're trying to be hard as be by the book about this, but that's just going to cause them to rebel even further, and you're going to have a bigger problem on your hands. Okay, Toda stay here. Then bring in Matsushima as well. Alright. And yeah, she's just denying everything. Denying it all. Yeah, I love having, like, our antagonist being the one who is so much more emotional and so much more empathetic, and the one that is our protagonist is the one who is, we have nothing to empathize with her. We know nothing about her. She is just, at this point, a murderer. But yeah, she's just trying to say, oh, she's the one framing me. And yeah, like, escaping prison is no small task. Something should only be done in thorough preparation. Like, trying to throw it back in their faces like it's their fault for doing this. Oh my god! Man, this one is the worst! Despicable, truly pure evil. You said Okuda committed suicide, but how can you be so sure that she wasn't murdered? God, she is more evil than so many true villains I've seen. Despicable. Yeah, for example, if Okuda, one of the people who was punished for escaping, were to commit suicide, it would force the case to be reinvestigated. Then all the murderer would have to do is figure out a way to shift the blame onto me. God, she's so good at this. I'm starting to think she might be an actual plant. Like, the fact that we don't know any of her backstory yet, and, just, like, she just seems like this has to be a plant or something. Framing her for the murder of her own friend. Insane. God. Yeah, the warden's not. I mean, maybe the warden is in on this or something. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that warden's in on it, actually. Yeah, don't tell me she seduced you somehow. What has she done to get the warden on her side? Because it is very unbelievable that the warden's buying all of this when it's so clear from truly anybody's perspective that it's got to be her. Like, if it's hard to imagine anybody wouldn't be able to see it's not her just from all, like, and the fact that she has been involved with literally every single thing, that has happened. So, I don't know, maybe the warden is, giving her slack for some reason. But alright, what are they doing with Toda now? They bring her to they're transferring her to a penitentiary, to a different one. Well, this one's a correctional facility. They're going to a penitentiary. Jesus. Never breathe a breath of fresh air again. Got into a really bad fight with the warden. First she escapes, now this. No wonder she's being transferred. Jesus, he's fucking Nami and that smirk. Yeah, break free. Go try and kill her right now while you can. I'd be doing the exact same thing. But alright, yeah, guards get in the way. She doesn't give a shit. Stab him straight to the stomach. Great typesetting. Go for her, go for her. But she's probably set this all up. She was expecting this to happen. Now, she's going to get away here. And then, yep, it breaks under her weight. Don't you get it, Toda? No matter who tries to stand in my way, no matter who they are, they all end up the same. Damn, dead, neck snapped. Holy fuck. My God. And a made reward. I thought it was supposed to be a mad reward. It says a mad reward up here, made reward down here. It's got to be a mad reward. Like, yeah, the fact that she was so, angry, so mad that this is the reward she got. But God damn. Our main character does not fuck around. I can't believe how evil she is. Holy fuck, I was not prepared for that. Like, every prison series I've ever read, the protagonist, is someone that, just by the nature of them being in prison, you can pretty much immediately empathize with them and everything like that, but there is not a single thing to empathize with her. She is just a mad, evil murderer. And I mean, even like, her saying like, no matter who tries to stand in my way, she didn't even try and stand in your way at all. She was not in your way in any way, and you still killed her. You killed 2 people already. Chapter 5, Visitor in the Rain. And okay, we actually get her tag there for once. Alright, 2 weeks after the rainy season ended. up on the guard tower, which, yeah, I thought I saw this in chapter 1, but I didn't see it in the other big image of the whole place. So there is a guard tower here, though. And then a katana. And then, okay, so this is like a flashback to what was actually happening with her or something. Is this part of the flashback, or is this still in present time at the guard tower? Okay, it was a blade, not a katana. Okay, yeah, so that was a flashback. So, okay, yeah, so seems like she's in... Is that her? Yeah. So, yeah, she stabbed him. I don't know, the blade's not covered in blood, though. But looks like she stabbed a man to death here. Okay, no, so the blade was covered in blood. So, yeah. So she stabbed a man to death. That's why she's in here. Assumingly, it was like, her expression here is one of shock. It's so different than we've ever seen her. So, like, what happened from, like, this moment to the kind of person we see her as now? And the blood splatter behind her, metaphorically. Wakes up in a shock. Okay, so we're going to start to learn a little bit of her past. Sugimi, whatever that is. Or, like, whoever that is. Was it the guy? Was it someone else? Probably was the guy. But let me write it down while I'm thinking of it. Someone once said that love between a man and a woman is like a car wreck. I couldn't have put it better, as far as Sugimi's concerned. Yeah, I agree. When it comes to love between a man and a woman, when it comes to straight romance, it's a fucking car wreck every goddamn time. What is wrong with straight people? Why is it always a car wreck? Sugimi Suguo, 29 years old. A detective with the public security section of the Tokyo Police Department. Seeming like I might be right. He took advantage. Like, obviously she was still, like, she's still in here for an actual crime, but on top of that, she might be, a rat. And this is, like, clearly the actual prison guards and warden would know if she's, like, an official one, but if this is, like, an under the radar, under the book sort of thing. Took advantage of his reputation as a shrewd, skilled detective, and basically did as he pleased. Doesn't sound like a good guy. First met him, yes, at the end of last year. Okay, so they've only known each other for a short while. An incident happened at the shop I owned, and he did a stakeout of that area. Okay, she used to be a business owner. He was quiet and uncouth, but for some reason, I felt love at every word he said and every move he made. I was tired of living a fast life, and to me, living a quiet, average life seemed like an amazing thing. And I thought of adult love as something that should be made to bloom quietly, without being particular about people. What does that mean? What does she mean about without being particular about people? Don't know. No idea what she means. The love that sprouted inside of me quickly grew and sprouted its leaves, and soon it began to bloom and grow fruit. I bet the bluebird didn't even imagine that my love, with all its thick roots, would be trampled on so mercilessly. This is so like, this is so like 50s style. I have not heard about a romance like this, for like 10 years. I've been so engrossed in the 60s stuff. I have not seen something like this. So outdated. I mean, even like he himself looks so outdated. But okay, so then another man here approaches from behind. Okay, this is Tani. Who is this? This is the chief. Okay, so it's another detective he works with. Okay. He's not explaining why the chief wants us, just moving on to something else. I guess it's not important. But introductions. So yeah, this is one I'm in for my section, Tani. But okay. So they've made some headway into the Okizaki case, uncovered a new route. I can't stop laughing every time they kiss. It's so 50s, so stilted. Whenever I hear people like talk about love in 50s movies and I see it like this, it's like doubt. It's crazy the mangaka is 30 and writing a dynamic like this. Like, he is of the younger generation. He is, like, writing manga for the oldest fucking fogies imaginable. I mean, even the old fogies are not making, art with, these kind of dynamics anymore. Even the oldest people, I have been watching movies and shows from even in Japan, or manga and stuff like that. Even the oldest people making manga at this time are not making manga for fucking this fucking old ass people. I don't know how to put it. It's not even for old people, it's just super outdated people. It's for people who have not moved on in 10 years. Okay. After that, she didn't see him again for a whole month. Spoke on the phone with him almost every day, but since no new ground had been covered in the case, he claimed he was busy investigating and doing stakeouts. To me, though, those phone calls were enough to give me peace of mind as I got through my work each day. I see. Okay, she's like a specialty boutique store. See. But okay, call from Sugimi again. Okay, we can meet up now. After 9, I get some time to myself. Okay, so like, he's trying to like set her up or something. Is he gonna frame her? The way she's like, oh, and I'll bring along the blazer I made for you. And he's like, oh, okay, thanks. Like, it could just be that he doesn't care, but it could also just be that he's trying to set her up, and so that's just an extra like annoyance. At 9, I'd be able to see him again. Never felt time move slower in my life. I know that feeling so well, but it's so hard for me to like, it's so hard for me to get into her head, like any romance sort of thing where it's like, we talk all the time about how much this character loves somebody, and I'm like, as an audience, we don't really understand why, though. And so it's hard to like put yourself in that mindset of like, this is a person they love so much, this is a person they love so much, this is gonna like hurt them and everything like that. But like, as an audience, we're so disconnected from it. So okay, it's 9 o'clock, she's here, but then, what? Closed. He must not have known. I don't know about that. But yeah, it's already past 9, so he hasn't arrived yet. Imagine that he'd come around the corner any minute, lumbering with his big body and muttering sorry as he scratched his head. I think this is the first thing in the entire chapter I've been like, okay, that is like a humanizing thing. Like, that is a thing about this man at all as to why someone would like him. And it's nothing other than just like describing him in any way that gives us a description of a man. Aside from just, he's a man. He was a man who existed and was a man. And then it's 10. Maybe he's waiting inside, even though it's closed. But okay, then... Okay, no, these are the people who own the place. But then they block the exit. So this was his plan, to try and get her there as it was closed, so that way they would think that she... I'm not sure. Like, that was his plan. Why? I'm not sure, but... Tell us the truth. What'd you come here for? Yeah, so this place is like a... this place must be a front for something. Yeah, I was supposed to meet somebody here at a closed coffee shop? Yeah, right. Alright, bring her in the back, rough her up. So then she grabs a bottle of wine, smashes it over her head. Nice. She's got that instinct to fight already within her at this time. And then, she's dead. What did you do? You just hit her like this. You just did that overhand hit. The classic 60s move. She's dead. Dead immediately. And then, of course, they immediately rape her. Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. I assume these guys are Yakuza as well, it seems like. Based off of what we were talking about with the detective. Not really based off anything other than that. But as I lie on the brink of death, the beasts attacked me. I can remember faintly thinking about how I had to resist them, but it felt as if my arms and legs were pinned to the ground. And so, as I listened to the mad beasts grunt one after another, all I could do was believe. Believe that Sugimi would come to help me. That this was all a dream. Prayed that it was all a nightmare. I mean, this happened so fast, too. This is, like, you went from just having a completely normal life to suddenly being attacked by a bunch of gangsters, raped in a train. Jesus Christ. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse as Sugimi comes in here as well. Yep. All the cops and everything. Everybody here seeing you in the most humiliated state possible. Yeah. And I could hear his voice. It sounded like he was speaking quietly through a pipe, but I knew it was him. And now he was seeing me in all my humiliation. I felt my blood boil as I desperately tried to do something, but I couldn't lift a finger. And yeah, like Tawny I thought was going to be like, the bad guy here, but he's actually, completely innocent. And he, actually he cares about her and everything like that and is worried about her, but meanwhile, Sugimi doesn't give a shit. Yeah, just be like, no, ignore my girlfriend. She's laying there, raped naked on the floor. Don't bother with her. Go find the drugs. Even though you've already arrested everybody and there's no time limit. Insane. But I mean, he's just trying to distance himself. He's trying to cope with his own feelings. Couldn't believe my ears. Sugimi's words pierced my heart even deeper than the beast who just attacked me. Yeah. It's gonna cut you to your core. I can't fathom your life changing this fast, going from complete normalcy to icy cold humiliation in every possible way. And yep, it was all a trick. It was all just to get them to rape her. Specifically, that's exactly what he wanted. He wanted them to rape her so that way they would have a longer sentence, so that way they could, work on the case longer. That is all this was. I had been used by Tsugimi, the man I loved with all my heart. He had wanted this to happen. That's why he told me to go to POW. He couldn't arrest that gang unless he found some dirt on them, so he sent me to their hideout, let them prey on me, and then stepped in. That way, even if he found no drugs, he'd be able to arrest them for rape and search for the drugs in the meantime. I was the bait. There was one hyena who was more vicious and cold-blooded than any of these beasts. Tsugimi! I won't forgive him, how could I? There's nothing more humiliating than this. Tsugimi one day, someday. So I think she did go stab him. I think she did kill him. The flames in my heart blazed so much I thought they would burn me up. But instead they dragged me back down to the darkness. And he just steps all over her clothes. The utter fucking disrespect. So then, soon after New Year came, I waited for Tsugimi to come home, stabbed him. Wasn't able to finish him off, sadly, but that gives us, something to look forward to in the series, being able to take him down. But I wasn't able to finish him off. The commotion ended up drawing other people over, and that's why she's here. And now you've got a visitor, and it's either going to be Tsugimi or Tani. It could be Tani, but, but I'm saying that just based off of the opening to this chapter. Didn't quite look like Tsugimi, did it? Like, that looks more like Tani than Tsugimi, which is why I thought that this could be Tani who's coming. But we'll see. It makes a lot more sense for it to be Tsugimi. But let's see. Okay, it is Tani. It is. Okay, let me write that name down then. He is going to be important. Cool. Yeah, how have you been? You look good. Enough of the sweet talk. Why'd you come to see me? Was my humiliation enough for you? Come on, Miss Nami, don't be like that. So he does have, like, a connection enough with her to call her Nami. But how many times did he meet her? Did he only meet her the one time and then during the rape? Or has he met her since then? Or in between then? Or, I don't know. But yeah, Tsugimi's in on this? Figures. But Tsugimi couldn't make it all the way here, so you came instead. Free to think whatever you want. Or is that what he's saying or her saying? I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, you're free to think whatever you want. Either way, 3 months ago, Mr. Tsugimi got out of the hospital and quit his job. We just couldn't stop worrying about you. I don't give a fuck if he even is. Even if he is, I don't give a shit anymore. After all that, fuck off. Yeah, worried? Don't make me laugh. What does he think this is, a fight in the schoolyard? Miss Nami, about the incident, Enough. You say quit? Don't you mean they just made him quit? Sorry, but our conversation ends here. Tsugimi's outside the prison right now, isn't he? Give him this message then. I'm gonna finish what I started, no matter what. But okay, so that's what she means by, like, anybody standing in her way, and why, like, this isn't a, like, something happened to her, now she's here and she's hardened. This is a, I need to get back out there and murder that man. And so I will do anything because I'm blinded by this, like, rage of wanting to kill this man. So I will kill anybody else who even slightly gets in my way. You're not even in my way. You just, it doesn't even seem like they're in their way. It's not even that. It's just like, if I can use you as a stepping stool, I will. This has nothing to do with if you're in my way. This is if I can use you, I will. And also the fact that he's outside the prison but too fucking chicken to come in himself. But alright, Tani, thought you were a decent guy, but not sure. Well, I want some more information on you, though. But okay, Tsugimi's still here, though. But what the hell? It's like, oh, there you are. Then he tries to go run after him. But then a bunch of cars get in the way. He slips. Gets hit by a truck. But what? Oh, so now, I guess that he can't, like, for plot reasons we're killing him off. So that way he can't tell Tsugimi that, like, she'll still be after him and everything. Otherwise, what the hell? Okay, it is dying words. Tsugimi. Nami, she said she still loves you. Okay. How? Tani might be worse than Tsugimi! Somehow, after Sugimi orchestrating the rape of the girl he's dating, I'm like, you know what? Tani still might be worse. That is so despicable. Holy shit. Evil, evil man. Evil, evil, evil. Holy fucking Christ. Whew, that gets the blood fucking pumping. Jeez. Visitor in the Rain end. Fucking hell. Chapter 6, Holes. Oh, this image. Just the silhouette, but not even a silhouette in a typical sense, just the silhouette from the light. Just whatever the parts of the body of the light are hitting. Definitely, you know, some great art that shows off that the artist really knows, you know, the form and how the light hits it and everything like that they are not just, you know, this is really him trying to show off, like, not just a manga artist. You know, I also know the fundamentals as well. I mean, plenty of manga artists do not. But yeah, chapter 6, Holes. So I imagine this is going to be another, like, sort of a rape chapter, but inside the prison this time, not a flashback, but going to be happening inside the prison. From the guards, from the other prisoners, who knows? Like, from the other prisoners, perhaps, but we've already kind of done a little bit of that, so. And we're kind of already done with the guards, I guess, in a way. It wasn't quite rape, but, you know, we've done that in a sense, so. I don't know, but that's definitely what I'm imagining it's going to be. Or it could be hiding something inside yourself, you know. But again, we've kind of already done that as well. But alright, day's over, everybody's being put back in their cells. Can't see which ones, but assuming it's 4, because working into the bone. Ooh, barley rice as well. They're being given barley rice. I should have seen that coming when I was like, yeah, I got the big, I mean, you know, it was just a normal bowl of rice, but still, even that normal bowl of rice, way worse than I could have imagined it was. Fucking barley rice. Blah. But then, who's in here in the cell with you? Okay, not someone we've seen before. But yes, she's supposed to be in their cell alone and everything like that. I'm surprised they didn't have it. They haven't, like, moved around everybody or anything, but, not talking. Won't answer us. Just laughing. Tee. Akiko. Cute, ain't it? Alright, so that's her name. And yeah, also, now I didn't really say it, but, you know, we know she's not, like, a rat here or anything. She's not been, like, placed here. And, you know, now her, like, we get half the explanation for why she's acting the way she is, but the other half still very mysterious. Why does she know the layout of this prison? Why does she seem to know all the inner workings of everything, how this prison works, before she's even been here? How did she know all that? We still don't know that information. But okay. New cellmates, and now in the middle of the night, getting up, okay, completely naked, and yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing the other girls did, using her to get off. And of course, what do you think I am, a man? Every single prison thing I've seen at this point throughout all the 60s is all lesbian. It's all lesbian stories. Every single one of them. There's not a single one that isn't. And of course, the moment we read an all female one from Japan, they're like, we cannot comprehend the idea of lesbians. I mean, there are still mangaka today in 2025 that think they are coming up with the concept of gay people for the first time. It is insane. Every time they're like, I've invented a new thing out of thin air. What if woman liked another woman? Nobody's ever thought about this before. Every time. Alright, kicks her off her. Now you have the guards. Alright, just puts her head back down. Oh, okay, her name's Doimitsu. Okay, so Akiko is a fake name, I guess? Okay, she's a bit crazy, but deep down she isn't a bad person. She doesn't actually hurt people. Surprised the guard saying this. Solitary confinement got full, so I had to bring her up here. Okay, solitary confinement got full? What, who's in solitary confinement and why? It seems like some other shit's happening that's not just us. But, so she must have been in solitary at a previous prison. Okay, yeah, and then she was brought here. Yes, the moment she saw me, she decided to make me into a man. Only Japan. Only Japan could make a all-female prison series straight. Only Japan could. And yeah, that sort of thing is common in this world. They call her crazy, but she might be one of the few who are actually normal. Damn. Yeah, you told me your name was Akiko. Akiko is Akiko. My Akiko. I mean, yeah, sounds like a lesbian relationship outside the bars as well. Now she's trying to make you into her, previous lover. But the name like Akiko, it's definitely a girl's name. What the fuck kind of fence is this too? Who is this keeping out? Like, this is not keeping out anybody who wouldn't just be stealing the chrysanthemums from a prison anyway. If someone's bold enough to steal chrysanthemums from a prison, this fence is not going to keep them out. A proper fence might, because it's annoying to get through. Trying to get through a barbed wire fence is way too much, effort for, it's got to be something really good on the other side. But this is, you could just go right through. This is so easy to just, like, sidestep all the barbed wire. Extremely simple. But it's break time. Then what's gonna go on with Doi? But yeah, like, oh, she's lost her marbles or anything like that. But of course, like, our main character is like, she's maybe one of the only normal ones in here because she's actually still thinking about the outside world. She has not become reserved to just being in here and being complacent. Like, the people who are still, strong enough of mind to realize how fucking crazy this place is, they're the sane ones. The ones who start acting like it's normal, you're the insane ones. Okay. Tatsuko snuck in a smoke somewhere. It'll be fine. These two were in the same cell as us. These two? As in, like, her and... It couldn't be Doi, because we're saying Doi was a transfer from another place. So, what does she mean, these two? I don't know. And okay, yeah, so she, paid the guard off, in whatever way. And alright, mute girl, you're being lookout. And damn, they just got, like, I'm not sure what a gory is, but it looks like a fire starter. They just have that here? How the hell did they get that? Let me look up what a gory is. I don't know. I can't find anything for it, actually. I have no idea what the hell it is. I tried looking up many different terms. Gory Japanese fire starter. In parentheses, tried looking it up on, sites for kanji and everything like that. I can't find anything for what the fuck this is. So if anybody knows, well, let me know. But I mean, it seems like just a simple fire starter. You just got a wood plank here with a little groove through it, and then you take a wooden stick and you rub it against it till you create enough friction. Oh, okay, we're gonna explain it here. Okay. Should have just turned the page. There was no, like, how was I gonna say? There's no translation note here. Like, that's weird. But I wasn't thinking the manga was gonna explain it. I thought this was just something Japanese people would know. But so gori, 2 pieces of wood that are rubbed together to create fire through friction, just like how cavemen used to do it so long ago. It earned its name from the gori gori sound it makes during the scraping. Gori are also used inside cells during winter in order to warm hands and feet. Okay. Of course, the cigarette brand is Hope. Of course. But yeah, pass it around. Everybody gets 1 puff. Would you puff? I mean, as far as you only get 1 puff, it's supposed to be puff, puff, pass. But I guess to be fair, that's for weed. That's why not for cigarettes. 1 puff's probably plenty fine for a cigarette. And then blow the smoke in your pocket. And then just chew on the grass to get the smell out of our mouths. Yeah, she knows all about this. She's been in here before, or she had someone who, like, told her about it. Tatsuko, you're rather strange? That is not where I thought we were going with the sentence. You're rather strange. Not what I thought. But okay, so then is that like a sign? She, like, rips up one of these and throws it or something when the guard comes? So then, not sure what is going on in this panel here. They're, like, putting dirt over the gori or something? And yeah, how did you get that cigarette? There are ways. I guess you got it from a guard, I would assume. Yeah, as long as you're willing to pay what it costs. Holes. The price of your holes. And okay, the guard. What about him? Mr. Omizu. Who the hell is he? No idea. But then the mute girl gets slapped. Oh, why'd you just do that? That was supposed to be a secret for the girls in our cell. But okay, then she's saying, I'll take responsibility for Matsu. She won't rat us out. Yeah, if someone finds out, just blame it on me. I see. So she's, like, covering for the mute girl. But so the mute girl gets slapped. Then Tatsu is like, stop, don't slap the mute girl. I'll take responsibility for Matsu. What? I keep getting so confused by this manga. But yeah, then what was going on with the guard? What was up with the whole guard thing? She pointed out the guard to her. So I don't know what the point of that was, but we'll see, assumingly. That he's got the cigarettes or something? Was that the same guy there? Yeah, that she got the cigarettes from him or something? Okay, so they are just paying him, actually. Just normal, actual money. Just wants some pocket money, that's why he's doing it. He wants pocket money from prisoners? How much could he possibly be getting? Enough for, like, over the course of a month? Maybe enough for, like, a bowl of ramen? He makes him pay 100 yen for 1 lousy cigarette. So, like, yeah, like, how often are people getting these, very unlikely, so he's probably getting, like, what is that, like, $2 at most, But yeah, so then first he was selling candy, then soft tissue paper, absorbent cotton. Yeah, prices are still worth it. Yeah, truly. But Akiko, quote unquote, or Doi. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Okay, yeah, so she had a child. Okay, so yeah, Akiko was her daughter. Okay. That's what was going on. Okay, cell inspection time. Gonna find something, right? Yeah, what's she hiding behind her back? It's gonna be some, like, I don't know what it could be. Like, a cigarette makes the most sense, but I assume it's gonna be connected to the baby. So it's like a little arts and crafts thing she's made of her baby or something. Yeah, a doll. Yep. Yeah. Ripped up her blanket, made it into her own little baby. Now they're gonna take it from her. God. And yeah, seeing it like that too, like it's like hanging basically. That's breaking her mind. I never thought you were this crazy, because she made a doll and then they cut it off. Or I guess like they pulled it tight enough to rip it off, seeing her baby beheaded in front of her eyes. But now, what is her name? Matsushima. I will. I'll remember Matsushima at some point, but right now it's so tough. I might just start calling her Nami, myself. Okay, so what if she has a doll compared to selling cigarettes for exorbitant prices? I mean, she did say, if you get ratted out, just blame me, so she's doing it herself. Just straight up ratting him out. I mean, she's ratting him out to the guy who sold the cigarettes, so she's not really ratting anything out, just saying, like, I know. But saying I know is going to get the other girls punished too, but again, she doesn't really seem to give a shit about that. It's interesting that, like, why she tends to, like, care for the mute girl and for Akiko, or not Akiko, for Doi, more than, like, anybody else. And, I don't know. It's not really like they're better than any of the other people or less mean. The other people aren't really, any different from, like, her. Can you find another prisoner who will support your claim? I mean, maybe with the mute girl, but then she's not going to say anything. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, that she also was, like, fully improvising that, so, like, now she's like, oh, he's got the edge on me. Like, what? Yeah, it is shocking that she tried this without a plan. It's very different from everything else we've seen for her in the series. And just the fact that she is willing to, like, sacrifice her own, getting further in the prison and putting herself in big danger for, some other people who've done, nothing to make them like her. Like, what about Doi is any different from Toda? Like, Toda, she murdered. But everything Toda did is also what Doi has done. So, like, what's the difference between them? I have no idea. I mean, I guess the only real difference seems to just be that, like, if you have black hair, even then, there's been, I guess she didn't really do anything to Masako, though. So, like, maybe that's just it. Simply, if you have black hair, then she likes you? I don't know. But, okay. Digging a hole here for what? Okay, he's just making Doi and her dig their own holes. Classic prison torture. Damn. That's a big hole. I appreciate it's a very realistic hole, too. It's not like just such a cartoon, like, circle or square or something. Alright, yeah, come on up now, and then fill it back up, and then dig it back up, and then fill it back up, and then dig it back up. Yep, now I want you to fill it back up again. You too, Doi. She really has lost her mind. But, what? It's over, they're going back. But then she turns around, sees something with Doi. So, okay, Matsushima, sure you don't know anything about this? Mr. Mizu didn't return to his guard room after he took you two out. So, okay, I mean, also crazy that he was just there by himself during all this. But yeah, they might have just killed him and buried him because he was there by himself. There's nobody's gonna find out. But, yep. So, Doi was the one who killed him. Damn, and okay, she's just covering up for Doi. So, yeah, Doi put him up there. Crying for Akiko. So yeah, the holes was actually the holes we were digging and everything. I'm surprised, did not expect that. But we just got away with murdering a prison guard, and they didn't even bother. They did not have multiple men watching at the same time. Crazy. This whole manga is so ridiculous. There's no other way to put it other than that. Just the way this whole prison works is ridiculous. Chapter 7, Mole. Okay, we got some color pages here as well. I mean, I was really expecting her to be the mole, but I don't anymore. But now I'm thinking it might be possible. Okay, so they did find him. They found him next chapter. Okay. Okay, the direct translation of this chapter is the word dog, which is slang for spy in Japanese. I went with mole instead. Okay, Like, yeah, I've heard dog being used for like a soldier and stuff like that, but not a spy. But it makes sense, you know. Anybody working for the government is a dog. Okay, so we're being moved to different separate cells. Doi's going in solitary confinement. Matsushima, on the other hand, we don't know. But, okay, and they found blood on the shovel. It was from Doi's hole and everything like that. And we were on the security cam footage, but despite being on the security cam footage, they don't know which one of us it was, somehow. Despite having two different colors hair, they don't know who it was. And, like, there wasn't two people there, but there was somebody up in the guard tower, but they were switching positions at the time, so we just got lucky, as far as that gets concerned. Is Doi already dead or something? She kill herself in her sleep, or... No, okay. So just making a break for it. Yep, making a break for it. Go, girl, go! It ain't gonna work, but I'd love to see it happen. Does she think she'll be able to escape like that? I don't know. I don't think she thinks she's gonna be able to escape, but, like, you know, how do you not want to try? Like, you know, despite the fact that I know it'd make my sentence longer and everything like that, I'd probably still do it just because, you know, it would drive me insane not to. And I'm sure, you know, as she said, she's kind of like the most sane person here. And she made it outside. Got the spotlight on her, though. But yeah, I don't think she thinks she's going to make it through all this. But okay, throwing stones at them immediately makes them stop. Oh my god, these fucking coward-ass fucking guards. But alright, he's the one who took Akiko away. Him specifically? What, does she just mean because you got arrested, so he's the one who did it? Or is this actually more connected? But she goes after him with a rock. But... yeah, he just, like, body checks her or something. And then kicks her while she's down. So is this guy the mole or something? But yeah, very, you know, like, the fact, like, none of the guards with guns could do a single thing, and then this guy had to do it all himself. Okay, got a little package here from the superintendent regarding the Mizu incident. Okay, found her prints on the shovel, the bloody one. And Mizu's cause of death was apparently suffocation from being buried alive. Hell yeah! Fuck yeah! Oh, so satisfying. He was alive when we buried him. Fuck yeah. Okay, Mitsushima is going to be moved into special cell number 12. But okay, what? A special cell? But I don't think she had any direct connection with this incident. You guys are the dumbest fucking guards I've ever seen. I've read so many prison series, and this has to be the most dumb, incompetent, idiotic looking prison I've ever seen. And cell 2 seems to be watching us be walked to our special cell. Or actually, no. Why is this cell 2? Yeah, I mean, she looks like she was the girl from cell 2. But okay, they're all planning to escape as well. But apparently Mitsu knows something about that. Alright, special cell 12. What makes this so special? Alright, got another girl in here already. I can see how these are going to be made into movies so easily. Truly, any of these chapters you could make into almost basically a full movie. You'd have to, like, obviously add a hell of a lot more to it. But, like, just, you know, you could truly make a movie out of, like, any one of these stories. Alright, this is Kito. Alright, she's only been here for a week, but she's already been moved to Special Cell 12. And again, it's like, what would make you move to Special Cell 12? Because, like, being, you know, murdering the guy didn't put Doi in Special Cell 12, but being connected to every event has put her in Special Cell 12. But then what else, like, what did this girl do? Like, you'd think being connected to every single bad thing that's happened at this prison would, you know, be such a damning thing. But it seems not to be. So, like the warden, but, you know, all the guards are like, why would you put her in there just because she's connected to every single bad thing that's happened at this prison? And yeah, it seems this place is as terrible as the rumors say. So yeah, it seems like this correctional facility is even worse than typical. And that Cyclops really rubs me the wrong way. Stuck you in a special cell right away? Yeah, why is that? Can't really blame them, I guess. I do have 5 priors. But yeah, 5 priors for, like, murder is the only thing I can imagine that would put you in here. Just good old-fashioned arson. Oh, okay. But yeah, she gave us all her information, but Nami Matsushima ain't giving anything. She's, you know, saying like, oh, I don't really know. I couldn't say. But it's like she knows exactly why she's here. I mean, look at these faces. Smug as always. And again, it's like, you know, what's different? This one has done nothing to her but, like, introduce her name, and she already has a look on her face like, I'm going to murder you. I'm going to see you dead by the end of this chapter. Why? I have no idea. There seems to be no rhyme or reason why this woman kills. Yeah, Masa's still wanting to kill us. Don't blame her. Yeah, Granny Okada and then Toda. No matter how you look at it, Matsu's the center of everything. Prisoners all figured it out. The guards, they have the fucking IQ of a toddler, which I'm not surprised. And now she's taking her under her wing, just strutting around like she owns the place. Yeah, like, she has, like, all the markings of a protagonist while all the actions of an antagonist. It's so crazy. But, so then what? Then she, okay, throw a rock right at her, hit her in the face. But yeah, shit, hit the other girl. Honestly, probably better. Like, that's how you're gonna get to her even more. Like, if you hit her in the head with a rock, she'd probably just brush it off. Hit her in the head with a rock, it's gonna actually get to her. But yeah, she got a smart head on her shoulders. Not gonna talk to the guards. He's just gonna punish us together, and I don't want that. So, yeah. So who was that girl? Bet it was Masa. The crew's been giving us weird looks lately. Yeah, guards been so strict lately. You'd be hard pressed to find someone who isn't pissed off. Yeah, seriously. That's what I've been saying too. Like, you know, the warden keeps being like, "What's going on? Why is this place running so shit now? It was running all fine, and now it's been just getting worse and worse and worse." And it's like, oh, so it was running fine before you started becoming stricter and stricter and stricter. And then once you're becoming stricter and stricter and stricter, everybody's been acting up more. What could possibly be causing it? And yeah, the injury hurts, but just gotta deal with it. And, oh, okay. Okay. What's going on? What is this for? Just, oh, are we gonna, like, slip something inside her? Like, plans or something? No idea. No idea. But, please stay with me. And yeah, that was all part of her plan. Okay, so I'm not sure if she slipped anything inside her at all. She just, you know, she just fully raped her. And then, you know, that was part of her plan. What the hell is the plan here? Okay, so Doi was the mole. She was the dog here. I see. So was her plan like, I'm just gonna rape this girl until she enjoys it? And then, you know, she'll be like begging me to like stay with her and everything like that, and I'll have won her over, so now she won't like rat me out to the warden. I'm assuming that's what that whole plan was. Insane. Insane writing. This manga is certainly something. But yeah, that explains. I completely forgot about the title entirely, and the whole damn chapter. Forgot about what the whole chapter was. But yeah, so that's why she was put into the special cell, like, right as soon as she got here. But yeah, please, before I do that, let me go back into cell 12 once more. Warden, I don't need any time back. I don't need any time off. Just put me back in cell 12. Cell 12. Okay, yeah, she did just rape her until she enjoyed it. Yikes. Yikes. My God. Okay. Okay. That was insane. Truly a nightmarish protagonist. Absolutely horrific. I think what makes it feel so fucked up is the way the manga is presented. That it is a manga. If this was a Gekiga, then you'd be like, you know, it makes more sense because it's a darker tone and everything like that. But this manga doesn't really have a dark tone to it at all, but then it does stuff like that. It's, you know, the disconnect between the events that are happening and the art is very dissonant. Very, very dissonant. And so I think like that, it's the fact that it's not a gag, or it's not even like a gag comedy or something like that could maybe make it work. But if they were treating it as crazy as it was, if they understood how over the top and insane this is. But it's treating it so, you know, normalish, not like too crazy or too, you know, mature or even too edgy. It's just sort of like a normal manga. And that has this weird dissonance to it, why this feels so strange. Like, they could be leaning so much heavier into her being a villain too, but they're not really either. So it just has this weird feel to it. And that might be why the movies everybody, like, knows, but trying to look up any information on this manga, it's so crazy that this manga is one of the hardest manga I've ever been able to find information on. And, you know, maybe that is just because, like, people just didn't vibe with the manga. It was not working for them. The dissonance was there. But, you know, the movies really, like, made it work or something. I have no idea. But this manga is so strange to read. So strange.